Hello Dream Team, welcome along to Season 3, Episode 35 of The Good, The Bad and The Rugby. We're all about the good stuff this week because, for most, the end of the season is upon us. Good luck to Saracens and the Prem. The Stormers and Munster in URC, and Leinster and La Rochelle who've got the Champions Cup final to come. But for everyone else, the summer holidays are upon us, and we have been first. I'm not sure we were ever going to be a championship winning pod, were we? So we have headed to the beach as well. Just give us a little lowdown on our set for this week.
The olives are blowing everywhere, dear. No, we're good. We're at the Me Hotel Santa Eulalia in Ibiza, the premier hotel on the island. We're on the rooftop with a panoramic view of rocks, ocean, crystal blue seas, amazing vista, and the beauty of one of the most amazing countries for food, for music, for culture, for heritage in the world. And we're on the rooftop living the absolute dream.
You've described that very well, but when I look out this view, all I want to do is, can I swim to the island?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so the island over there, you can't see because it's a podcast. You know, we're on YouTube as well, so you can see it in a visual format. But if you don't understand how that works,
it looks to me 800 metres away at least.
So I reckon that's about a kilometre away. Chloe and I were
always adding a little bit extra to your distance.
Yeah. You should see what 5 inches look like in my mind. In my mind,
always add 20% in a bit.
Of course you do.
That's the 80.
Well, I've had no complaints, so relax. Over there in the island, we always, when we get on holiday, decide to do a challenge. And one time we decided to swim to that island. It seemed like a brilliant idea.
This is you and Chloe?
Me and Chloe. Right, Chloe's
actually... Oh, you actually did this? I was just saying, I was thinking about it.
Chloe's a fantastic swimmer. And so she sort of, you know, glided off like a seal. Right, like a bronze seal.
Not like, we're going to pick that up. Actually, my wife is a seal.
But that works well.
Anyway, she went off like a seal, off into the distance. Now it's quite a busy shipping lane, ships whizzing past. Now I'm not a great swimmer, but I'm not going to drown at the drop of a hat. So I was swimming on, but it was taking me quite a long time. I was swallowing a lot of seawater. Boats were crossing, coming quite close. I was panicking a little bit. I had to duck down a few times. Chloe jetted off with absolute no regard for my safety. She got there in about 25 minutes. An hour later, I was still swimming, and she couldn't. We got there, and it was what I can only describe it as a sheer rock bird shit, craggy fucking death trap of an island. Right?
So you've gone from paradise
to basically like a sharp flint rock, shit covered, stinking, no way you can get out of the water, death trap. Right? So we've got across there. It's taken me an hour. I'm fucked. I'm out of breath. Chloe's there, like fresh as a daisy. She's clinging onto a rock, hanging onto a bit of algae. We get up there, can't climb up, go, well, we can't walk up because we've got no shoes on. This is the worst thought through process. Catch our breath, got the GoPro out, take a few videos, decide to swim back in. She jets off again.
So you made it look like the dream.
Yeah.
GoPro.
Oh, yeah. I posted on Instagram.
Added a filter.
A wet kiss, add a filter.
Hashtag Hero9. I was all over the GoPro cache. This is amazing. We discovered the island. Yeah, locals lived here, whatever. Got back in the water. Another hour later, I burnt 5,000 calories. She couldn't understand why I was taking so long. It turns out I swim vertical like a seahorse. I thought I was swimming beautifully because my legs were kicking, but it turns out they're underneath me. So the entire time
I just trying to force you upwards.
I just propelled myself forward through my upper body. Like I've done everything in my life via my upper body with no discernible skill.
Seahorses where the women kill the males after.
Yeah, actually, it turns out my wife and I see.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, and I burnt 5,000 calories. It was an awful thing. I nearly died for absolutely no gain. But that's just life, and that's just holidays. Just who dares wins. Just sees. So it's a great place. I've been coming here for 10 years. Food's great, vista's great. Don't swim across to islands, and apart from that, everyone's a winner. And Nicky Beach, if you want to look over,
to hear the faint vibes of Nicky Beach.
You can smell the faint Tierra Mugler alien. You can see Gucci bum bags. You can smell fake tan, and see some fake arse and fake lips all from the rooftop, allegedly.
We really are. If you are listening to this, we are sitting in a very little corner of paradise. The sun is going down, the rosé is out. We've got one or two things that we're going to talk about on this week's show, but we are fundamentally living our best life. We did say there are pods that put a lot of effort into the day-to-day, and they look very hard and studious.
Not really on the rugby landscape, though. They don't put a lot of effort. They're in their nan's. They're in their nan's basement. Right, there's a group of them, absolute verge. Yeah. There's Mock Studio, the people who use the Universal Studio, they've all been there. The ones who, most of it's Battle Central.
They enter the podcast awards that no one really cares about.
Yeah, there's a lot of battlers, and then we're on a rooftop. I'm not going to say there are podcasts, but there's some pretenders to the throne. There's some absolute elite, and I would say,
hashtag we're living our best life.
Hashtag olives and sweets on a rooftop.
We'll take it. We've got lots of things to talk about. We're going to get really into an extraordinary few weeks for the both of you, particularly you, Michael. But I just wanted to touch on the fact the global phenomenon that was your dancing at the Coronation concert. Just talk us through the energy, the ambience, how you feel you've been judged by the mainstream media for the incredible moves you threw.
Unfortunately, I choose not to really pay that attention to that.
Except you can't read anyway. That's
Yeah,
the
well,
most useful part.
All right, mate. It's
From Wakefield to Windsor.
It's a problem, mate.
It's a problem. It's all right. Sorry. God.
No, but yeah, it's about having fun, isn't it? You can't not hear Lionel Richie sing all night long and not get up and dance. The worst thing was everything else, where you're going, yeah, I'll get up and dance to this, and you're like, is the King going to stand up? So it takes a brave man to go out there and cut. Because have you seen those videos where in like ice hockey or basketball, they'll do a camera and then the guy will be dancing and he sees himself on camera and he goes mad and he walks down the stairs and I was like,
can you see that you're on telly?
No.
Right, okay.
Can you see that you could be that bloke?
You can see what they are showing at the time.
Yeah.
But then obviously they could be filming you when they're not showing you on the actual BBC.
So if you
or
pick
whatever.
your nose, it could be on the
Yeah.
So you were conscious of whether the King was going to move first or whether you could instigate.
Or whether you could stand
mass
up at any
dance-off.
other times, or do you have to sit down and wave your flag? I broke my flag. I was that enthusiastic.
You broke your flag.
Yeah.
Is that a metaphor?
But
You actually
I did think at one point, going, I really want to dance right now, and if I get up and sort of just get into a slut drop, rip my trousers, or you've got a lot of space, and we knew that Kermit was coming at some point. I was like, could I dance with Kermit the Frog? So yeah, it was. I enjoyed myself. And
I thought your wife danced very well. I thought the Duchess of Edinburgh. Have I got that
well
right?
done, well done. Yeah.
Her moves were sensational.
Well done on staying up to date with.
Well, I like
Everyone's
my
titles.
lineage and
You
heritage.
do like your titles.
He's got
sponsorship.
I'm hoping for a couple actually.
He's like a herald back in the day. He knows that everyone.
A town crier.
More of a jester.
Yeah, he knows everyone's sort of family trees
He would
and stuff
fall
like that.
so well into that. Like, yes, sir, this is the Earl of.
Yeah, this is the Earl of Windsor. Third
Well,
chest.
that's what I end up doing with the two you prats.
What's the
when
name
we're
of
talking
what's
to
the name they
dignitaries
do when
having
they do the family crest? There's a name for it. It's called a something.
Oh, he would have loved
There's
that.
insignia
gig.
or-
Yeah, insignia, but there's a name for someone who does that, who gets
It is
really
heraldry.
into it. Heraldry. Yeah, I mean,
He would-
essentially,
he
yeah.
would love that.
He would. You
It'd
were
be-
actually a herald
it'd be
back in the day.
It'd be at the
Chiseling
it'd be
shit
at the
into a
lance.
shield.
It'd be at the lance. Going, oh look, the Duke
what?
of Montfort is here.
I'd be able to tell you.
Fantastic
I'd be
show.
able to tell you the front of
He's an
armour.
oak cluster with a riposted peasant, 3
On a
breadsticks
red black,
and a chicken
on
leg.
a red background.
Yeah,
Do
on
you
a
know
red
why?
background.
Do you know why that is? Because this
Rivers
goes
of
back
blood.
hundreds of years.
Hundreds
to
of
the
years.
Story.
Hundreds of years, Michael.
I would tell you all the sponsorship deals for armour
course you do, yeah.
in the 14th and
Course you do.
15th century. Anyway, it was phenomenal. Obviously from an outside, it looked spectacular. But it was everything you.
Yeah, it was an
wasn't
incredible.
thinking
It was an incredible weekend. I thought the King was on point to a T. I think you could see how much he was sort of concentrating on the emotion that was going into everything. That I mean, it's not easy. A lot of those things are probably a lot heavier than you think.
I quite like the
So I
dude
don't think
though.
it was quite physically.
I quite like the dude off piece with just the script because you're
Yeah.
like, how's he going to remember all that? And he just goes, King Charles, except to God and. I quite like that because in life, if I just had a script next to me, so you go, oh, where am I? I fucked up. I love you, my wife. You're beautiful.
I do.
And I definitely wasn't out on that night out. And my alibi was that I was at the Good Bad Rugby at the Ibiza hotel. But yeah, it was quite useful.
Well
So
done.
no, it was a strange but amazing weekend.
Yeah, amazing.
What,
We
did
could
you
tell
see the bloke? Did you see the bloke who looked like he was there with a false handlebar moustache, smoke tinted glasses, and a wig at the back of the back of? Apparently he's somebody, but everyone focused on him because it looked like basically someone took a photo of him going, the crown jewels are getting robbed in the next hour. It was like a badly guy in a terrible disguise. He's gone handlebar moustache.
There's a film
wig.
in there.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
a film.
it is.
Yeah.
But he's there, and I don't know what his name was, but I think he was something like the. Sort of some dignitary, but he honestly looked like he was there with a piss, taking a syrup, smoke tinted glasses. He looked like an SAS bloke from the 1980s. Do you know what I mean?
Sort of keen vibes to that.
Yeah.
In the here and
I
now.
could do with a syrup actually. But come November, I'm
Come
going to fucking
November.
ponytail, so calm down. I'll be whipping you in the face with beads. I'm like that. You shut your face. Dipping it in everything.
And there's
Oh,
our
God,
first-
you're
there's
like
our
Hask
first
your hairs in
redactation.
every drink again. Oh, I hate that. Put it back in the fucking man bun. Get a job in the production. I lose the bottom half of my trousers. I get some absolutely shit tattoos. I turn up to work on a fixie bike. I talk about like liberalism and just giving money to everyone because you haven't got any money. That's why you're giving it away, you dickheads. And a man bun. Socialism, yeah.
You can take
Hashtag one team.
You can take the cheap way of doing it and just buy a hat with crudely attached to it.
We Jock McCock, the head of media.
Okay, we'll leave that there. We made a mess of that section.
I don't think we did.
If you'd like any more on what was a very special weekend, then particularly I'm talking to the Daily Mail and Hello journalists, please do subscribe to The Lock-In, where for £3.99 you can get the full story on the inside track.
Unless
of the
your
Coronation.
email address stands with @themailonline.com,
Right, yeah.
where you'll be paying £3,000.
Yeah, they don't bother. Mail don't write any stories. Just nick it off social media. Even worse than
No,
the
like
Mail.
Andrea.
Andrea,
Hello
They're
friend.
worse, they
We'll
nick
go
it off the
straight-
Wales Online.
They nick it off Wales Online, regurgitate it. Haskell kills Tyndall in rooftop accident. And you read the article. No, it was just
They
they
had
had a bit of fun in the
they
pool.
had 2 glasses of rosé
Yeah.
and a hug.
Has pushed Tins into a pool, is the truth of it, but yeah, that's the way it would go. Anyway, yeah, Lock-In. £3.99, you're taking the fucking piss, honestly. The cost of living crisis, we're giving it away for free.
Roll up, roll up.
Yeah.
Right, help yourself to that. James, could you just explain to the good people, our friends and
Yes.
followers, what it is that we are
Well, we're in
doing
Ibiza.
as the sun goes down?
We're in Ibiza, Alex. I don't know if you noticed that.
I've
Sun
picked that
shining on
out.
a rooftop. To get a sneak preview of NCL's epic cruise ship that we and 4,000 others, I can't believe I agreed to that, 4,000 others, potentially some Norses, but also some really good people, are having a massive party in the centre of Marseille during the opening weekend and the quarter-final weekend of the Rugby World Cup 2023. We'll be hosting live performances, Q&As, and we'll be showing some of the games, including the blockbuster opener of France versus New Zealand on the big screen on the top deck. So rugby, sunshine, cruise ships, big screens, entertainment, us, the perfect synergy.
Cigar
Don't
bar.
forget danger for the
Danger.
The Norses
Yeah.
who
Yeah,
might
yeah,
get
You're wearing
2
a gilet.
players.
If you've packed a gilet to come on a cruise ship, you deserve to be thrown overboard.
You will be walking the plank on
Yeah.
day one.
Actually, that is going to be a parlour game. Walk the plank. There's no way back. But anyway, we'll cover the details later. Head to infinitysportstravel.com/GBR to join us for an epic rugby party and book fast because it's almost impossible to find any accommodation in Marseille. That's key. If you're coming to watch the World Cup, you're never going to find a hotel room. People have got tickets, but they've got nowhere to stay. So Infinity Cruises are the place to go. All the dates and all the cabins are selling really fast, so you need to keep an eye out for it. Me, Tins and Payno, great rugby, great times, great laughs this September and October. Head to infinitysportstravel.com/GBR. It's a dream come true.
Being here has really energised me for late summer sunshine, incredible rugby, the 3rd biggest sporting event on the planet, bit of boat time.
Okay, so let's keep
I'm
the
ge-
sun.
this is
let's,
selling-
let's leave the rugby.
selling the
Let's
dream.
keep the. Yeah. I think there's a
rosé.
load of restaurants,
Keep the
a
rosé.
cigar lounge,
Keep the rosé.
Bit of a gym.
bit of a, well, it's a proper gym because otherwise you get a rig like that if you don't train.
Quick check-in. We're not legally obliged to, but it is Saracens against Sale in the Premiership final.
Yep.
Sarries are looking hot to trot. At your golf day, Lowell was there on very, very good form, but he said they've not won a big game in a couple of years now, Sarries. They probably hold the aces going into this one, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. But you know, they had that whole season away from any big games. It's I
Takes a
think
bit of time.
I think there's been a little bit of socials around the fact that Lowell threw that in when Craig Doyle was asking about the fact that you were considered playing boring for a certain amount of time, and Faz went, well, yeah, a bit, and then Lowell went, and you were winning titles. I was like,
What did you read into that?
well, I don't know whether he was trying to be positive about the fact that when they were playing boring, they were winning titles, or whether he was trying
been
to
a
make
while
the
since
point
you
that
have.
he's made a point. But only we'll give Lowell the right to reply on that the next time he comes on.
Oh fuck! I don't. You know, I know what I mean.
Don't
Tins,
go.
you slag.
I
Just relax, you-
say what I
you
say,
prick.
and
bring
I
your
know
tools
what
and
I
I'll
mean.
fucking fight you, Tins, you slag, right? That was a quote from my. Actually, that's a live recording from Lawrence
Wow,
Dallaglio.
wasn't it amazing? Wasn't it amazing to hear Lawrence Dallaglio on this pod from
Yeah, you
nowhere?
fucking what, you mug? Oi. Big Lowell says what he says. Does he need a rest? Absolutely. Does he love the sun? Of course. Is he in Ibiza? Maybe.
Does he talk in the third person?
Yeah, of course he does.
Of course he does.
Of course he does. Why? Because he's a fucking invincible, you mug. Oi. Sorry, Lowell. Sorry, Dad.
Look, I think that hasn't the core of that hasn't gone. I think obviously Leinster Well, Len's to get beat.
Looking at you.
It's just cash.
You're just
He's at
Don't
home.
go-
He's
don't
at
do
home,
shit.
isn't he? He's at
Fully at
home.
home in the sun, showing off, lying to make friends in front of the camera. So
But you would have said, obviously,
He's battling on. Keep going.
keep going,
Yeah,
keep boring us the rugby show. Yeah, get to the fucking point. Saracens going to beat Sale. We all know it. Let's get on with it. Who gives a shit? Move on. It's a done deal. Well, actually, I think it's quite interesting because it's Sanderson versus McCall. Who was the
Master
secret-
and apprentice.
That's what I mean. But who was the secret power? Because everyone says Alex Sanderson was the emotional energy, the driver, head of the wolf pack, right? Was it McCall, the tactician, the
Pretty sure
genius, the
it's Guzzi who was
motivator?
head of
Was
the
it?
wolf
Well, no, well, no. But apparently he nicked it off Sanderson.
Again, just
Yeah,
make
no,
it up
no,
as
no,
you
no,
go
no,
along.
no, no, no. Apparently there's a little conflict there. Was it Gustard? Because they said that Gustard nicked it off Sanderson into politics, mingle the truth. Yeah, I think they're going to get absolutely drilled.
What, Sale?
Yeah. I just don't see
Yeah.
it happening. Not because I don't love Sale. I love Alex Sanderson. I love all the boys. I think they're amazing players. I just think Saracens
That
are unstoppable.
machine.
They know what they're doing. They're ruthless. You know.
I think the fact they lost last year as well, last gasp, paying to that Freddie Burns drop, I think
Yeah.
they just don't tend to get it
No,
wrong twice.
no.
Yeah, look,
You never know.
Yeah,
But could Alex Sanderson be an emotional heartbeat?
Yeah, well, it's like anything. I think you've got two great teams who play for each other. You know, McCall talked about how good their defence was in that game. You look at Sale's defence has generally been outstanding, built by Al Sanderson. So, no, I do think Sarries are too good. I think obviously they've been through what in Sarries' recent film you would call a lean spell, but they've still got world-class players, and when they play well, you wonder why a majority of that Sarries team aren't in the England team.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, if you're going to talk about someone that knows how to sort of pull the strings of the emotional vibe, Alex Sanderson is a genius, right? So this week, you just come off the back of a very narrow win, right? Albeit they got try disallowed, but a narrow win, little naughty bounce pass to seal the day. They're coming into this week. How do they then build up? Because you know, obviously, when you've got someone like him, and it's like a bit of witchcraft. Does he bring someone in? Does he bring a speaker in? Does he take the week really seriously? Does he stay to his type, which is making stuff fun? Do they have a review meeting where it's kind of quite light-hearted? Does he get really serious? It's really interesting to see someone like that who
Take the
is
pressure off
the
or
pressure off,
apply.
pressure on, how he deals with it. And I can tell you this. Sale coming into this final, knowing what I know about Alex Sanderson and the regard that everybody has for him, and what a genius he is, and what a good lad he is, because he's one of us. I think if anyone can turn the tide at the end, he can do it. I just don't see anyone beating Saracens because they're like a machine. They're like you remember the movie Dodgeball? They're like Globo fast. You know that gym. You know, with like the guy. What's his name? Dwight
Stiller.
Goodman. Dwight Goodman. They're like Michael McCall's like Dwight Goodman. Globo gym. They're just like running everything.
And Mark McCall's got a picture of him wrestling the bull by
Yeah,
the
but he
horns in his office.
sits in his office.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah, but it actually happened.
We had that mocked up and sent
shackles
over
on,
for the
shackles
final.
off. But I put the shackles on. Yeah, I imagine that's what it's like Saracens' big like Globo gym sort of setup. Whereas Sale they've got full fans and they're joking. They've got loads of loyal fans. Apart from the stadium smells of poo. When the wind changes, there's a sewage
Yes,
farm.
I do remember
it
that.
Stinks of
I
absolute
do remember
shit.
that,
It's
funnily
like
enough.
it's remote.
Yeah.
It can be cold.
It's
it
in
can
a-
be
it's in a
sideways.
motorway lay-by,
It's in a motorway
essentially.
lay-by.
Yeah.
The smell of feculence just pervades
Feculence.
every orifice. Right, it could be a dark place to go. Wasp never won there since my 12
Well,
years.
Wasp wasn't exactly the penthouse.
No, but Wasp never won the
English
12. We won a lot of premierships, Chief. We used to beat the fuck out of
Well,
everyone.
not when
so
you were
relax.
based in Coventry.
Well, we got to a final, didn't we? Till Nathan Hughes couldn't take his hands off the ball when he was being told, let go, let go, let go. Turns out he needed to be stapled into his fucking forehead. Let go. And he didn't. Now the club's gone down. Maybe if we'd won, we might have still survived. Anyway, but the truth is that if anyone could turn around, Sale can do it. But I just don't see Globo Gym's just so powerful. Globo Gym's just, it's got
So
everything.
you are saying that they are Globo
Yeah.
and they're taking on Sale, the
Yeah.
average Joes.
Yeah, they've got average Joes. They've got average Joe
Joes.
ship. They've got that guy that goes, he's got, what is he,
Oh,
what channel
no,
does he watch?
no, that's Payno, the guy,
Payno.
the rather overweight guy who knows every rule.
Yeah, every rule.
Rather overweight guy.
No, skinny fat. You know that guy.
Skinny fat,
You know
yeah,
when he
skinny
goes to
fat.
the head run, he goes, I'm just going to shut the abs and keep the legs working. You know what I mean? You know, the one who knows about dodgeball. He watches the obscure sports quarterly, the Ocho, or whatever channel he watches.
ESPN, the
ESPN, the Ocho. No one's ever subscribed to that channel in the world. It's basically the man versus the good people.
Right.
It's like the government versus everyone else. That's what Saracens are. Saracens are like a huge, giant conglomerate that just mows over everyone.
Yeah.
And or you got average Joes.
Do you remember on General Over Rugby, you could play, for example, New Zealand against Wellington Hurricanes, and Jonah would be in both teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't that game, but it was similar. if Saracens now, with all their England stars, played England with all their Saracens stars, who would win? So Owen Farrell lines up
right.
against Owen Farrell.
I think.
2 Owen Farrells.
No,
That's a very dry day. Joking, Owen, I love you.
I think Sarries would win.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
I just think it's like Leinster. Would Leinster beat Ireland?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Would Leinster beat Ireland? Would the
Dunno,
Crusaders beat
very
the All
close.
Blacks?
No.
Very close.
Crusaders wouldn't beat the All Blacks. Leinster would be. Leinster wouldn't beat Ireland, but they would have done in the past. And Saracens would beat England.
But there you go. I'd say
Is that
England.
time?
England aren't that well-oiled team, and Sarries are a well-oiled team with world-class players in that team.
Yeah.
And where they don't have England players that are in the England team, they have probably another international from another nation.
No, but they've just built
Because
themselves
they're
like an empire, haven't they? They've got like a
Yeah.
distilled. It's like they are like the Empire in Star Wars. They're all like that. They wear matching kit. They're all like in black. They're like dirt. You know, they just storm through everything. Everyone else has been pillaged and killed, and now they've got a real distilled way of winning. I just don't see anyone beating them.
Right, we have. I mean, as match previews go, that has to be down there as some of the worst content we've ever produced. But we'll try and do something a little bit better on Premiership Final Day. And if you are going to the game, you Sarries and Sale fans, it's going to be an amazing occasion. It always is. It's a brilliant day at Twickenham. There's going to be lots of live music. Also, and talking of the big Gallagher Premiership Final, we now know it is obviously Sale against Saracens. It's going to be a blockbuster. And if you haven't, therefore, entered our mega ultimate match day City Index competition via our social media channels, then I strongly suggest you do, because you could win 2 tickets to this year's Premiership Final at Twickenham, 2 replica jerseys of your choice, a hotel stay, £200 worth of spending money, 2 GBNR live tickets before the final, courtesy of our friends at City Index, who are one of the leading providers of commission-free spread betting across thousands of financial markets. So that is an absolute belter. Head over to Good Bad Rugby to get involved in that, and you have until 10 a.m. on the 18th of May to do whatever you've got to do via the socials to be involved in that. That's a good, isn't it?
That is unbelievable, isn't it? Replica shirts, 2 tickets to see us.
Yeah.
I'm not there, but you know that break the dream. And to the final, which is the pinnacle of Premier Rugby season. Really.
Premiership Rugby.
Well, you know, just Premier Rugby. You know, I just think it's got a better. You know, they put a ship on the end of it because that's got an inference that could sink, and rugby's going nowhere. But
shall we fly through
the only ship that doesn't sink?
what's that?
French.
I've
that's
sunk a
lovely.
few
Done that,
friendships.
Michael, that's
Actually.
lovely. I want to do a thing actually. I'm gonna do it next
Relationships,
year.
they sink pretty badly. Not mine though.
Yet.
No, how dare you?
Top 5 next season. I want to do top 5 stories from the sport, which won't involve you, but it is going to. You're going to have to do a bit more work as a result.
Top 5 stories.
Yeah, like because we never talk about rugby, but actually some quite.
we do.
interesting- Well, you do.
It's in the fucking title. It's
I
called
know.
Good Bad Rugby.
We're in Ibiza drinking
the best
rosé,
show we've
trying
done.
to find anything to
the
talk
best
about.
show we've done was with Jason Fox, had nothing to do with
I know,
rugby.
but that's my point.
Yeah, but
But I
we
still-
service it every now and then for the absolute nauseous who
next
stumble across
season-
it because they see
Next
rugby.
season, we're going to do our weekly top 5 headlines from the sport. We're going to have a little dry route of it this time around.
A dry route?
course you
Really?
are.
That's the worst kind of
Course
route,
you
Alex.
are.
Of course you are.
All
Premiership
that leads
player,
to is friction burn.
Yeah, it does, yeah. And
and
frustration.
happiness.
Yeah. Not happiness, frustration.
Premiership Player of the Year, Ollie Lawrence. Well done to him, because actually as Premiership seasons go,
a
he's had to
tricky
pack
one.
up, move house.
Can I just say, Craig, our social media guru, is an unbelievable asset to the team, a lovely guy, but basically he's an absolute rugby nose.
did
When
let
he came
himself-
on,
he
he
did
did
let
let himself
himself
down. He, with us, he's like, yeah, you know, I'm really chilled. Oh, just, you know, rugby, fuck that shit. Honestly, he was like white on rice with Ollie Lawrence. He was all over him like a rash. He's my friend, this is my guy, he's the strongest guy, he's the best centre in the world. Gets really excited about it, so you're a disgrace.
He is spreading the good news
Yeah,
of GPR.
he is.
pretending
And Ollie
that
Lawrence, to be fair to him, to move clubs, carve up, to get rebuffed by Eddie Jones, to be a sort of focal point and a pinnacle for England, to do it with the smile on your face and do it with absolute style and panache.
And
Fair
he
play,
scored the
sir.
try that saw Bath into Europe, didn't
Yeah, he did.
It
Yeah,
was a nice
yeah.
little
But that
rugby
doesn't
goal.
mean that you're not a Norse, Craig. And you know, we absolutely do not want to show any sort of emotion around here.
Yeah,
We're an emotionally dead podcast. We had another social media guy called Sam. He's at it. He used to turn up in stash, which is the worst kind of crime, right? He turned up in stash every day, and within 2 days we bullied it out of him. Now he just wears plain, just wears black, just really sad
we
all the
did
time.
bully it,
He looks like a
actually. We
stage
said
hand.
that
He just
we are
comes in,
eroding
like
the
is he
soul
even
of the
there?
game.
Just like, ooh.
You are eroding the soul.
Yeah.
Well done, Ollie Lawrence. URC Munster Pip Leinster with the last drop
Lemster.
goal, Lemsip, in Dublin. Storm was too strong for Connacht, so it's going to be Stormers Munster in South Africa on the 27th of May. La Rochelle against Leinster, Dublin,
Powerful.
4:45.
with the
Roger
with
against the old boys in
with
blue.
the Leinster Munster.
Yeah.
does that show that without
Johnny
Sexton that
yeah.
Leinster can't function? Does that mean the World Cup's going wrong already for Ireland?
Are you seriously starting that
I'm
already?
not going to start it.
You've had too good a run of it with the boys in Greece.
I thought it'd be so good.
Somebody's got excited.
Does it start?
Has
Yeah.
anyone but
Do you mean that Ireland?
yet?
Oi,
He's still hoping to be fit, isn't he? Obviously, he's not going
Yeah,
to
he
fit
will
for
be
Leinster
fit. He
again.
will be fit. They'll put the whole.
He'll come out with
honestly, yeah,
leg
bionic
leg.
leg. Ireland, the whole deficit of Ireland will, you know,
Go into
there'll be
it.
government going, listen, we've got 1,000 people, they haven't got any homes. They'll be like, fucking put all the money into Johnny's rehab, but he can't run. Build him a leg, build him a bionic leg. He'll fucking
Pair
run,
of
he can
wheels.
run. Look how fast he is.
This could be where the actual
Yeah.
million dollar man
He will
comes
be, yeah,
to-
bionic. Yeah, of course he will.
Who wins, Leinster or La Rochelle in Dublin? Leinster home. I mean, but it is Rog, and it is his old nemesis.
They talk about the pack.
It's like a World Cup final, isn't it? Is it going to be France or is it going to be Ireland? I don't know. I think it
Taster.
should
You just
be an
can't beat
absolute.
them.
It should be an absolute cracker.
Yeah.
And let's hope rugby's the one.
Yeah, I think La
You
Rochelle.
really are trotting us
look,
some
I
absolute
think
I would
gold
say-
on this
I
week's
think-
show.
I think Leinster are unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're just next level across the board. The thing is that La Rochelle, they're incredible. They have the X factor that is like, it's not discernible. You can't bottle it. You can't grab it. You try to grab it and it flows out your hand. It's like trying to nail diarrhea to a wall. You can't. You could try it, but it's all going to go everywhere.
What?
It's-
We are in Ibiza.
No, but okay, fine.
The
Okay, I'll make it
delicious
easier. I'll make it
rosés,
easier.
the
I'll make it
sun
easier.
That was last night.
Crystal-
Make it
Please.
easier. You try, if it's like a balloon, try to
be a
grab a
nicer
balloon.
metaphor
It
than
goes
that.
out in different directions. Do you know what I mean? You can't. It's not tangible. And the thing is, he talks.
It's so getting better.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rod, if you watch it, he talks about the connection between the fans and the people. That response to them winning last time, like
Mega.
when I
That
talk
warmed
about that,
our
yeah,
soul.
well, if you had a soul, but like it just, it
Our
was
soul.
like a it was yeah, it was like a phenomenon. People came out of everywhere. That, you know, La Rochelle started from the bottom and now they're at the top. Do you know what I mean? And I think you can't emotionally vote against them. I think if it comes down to like kind of practicality, efficiency, you can't move past Leinster. If you're talking about X factor, winning on a day where you're going to need some magic, I think La Rochelle has all the magic in that equation. So either one could win. Yeah.
There was about 15 seconds into it. I thought, where's he going with this? How's he going to abort? And you did just step away from it.
Yeah.
Fifth and final of our top stories around the game this week. The Rugby World Cup 2023 referees have been picked. Well done, Wayne Barnes, who is obviously going to be there. Joy Neville is going to be the first woman to ref as a TMO at the men's finals as well. And I hope for all of those selected, with the greatest of respect, that you have easy, controlled, clean tournaments, and that we at no point have to talk about bits and bobs. So good luck to all those chosen.
And I think just to clarify that,
Here we go.
I think discussion of a decision is what sport is about.
Yeah.
Personally attacking people and
Is not.
inference and family and people and the person making the decision is completely wrong.
Yes.
Yep.
You know, the person people in life make decisions all the time and decide to do things.
And
they're
always
all-
remember, there's 4 other people that have got to agree with
Yes,
him.
exactly. And I think the person, I think if people can enjoy the World Cup for what it is, and if a decision gets wrong, you just talk about that. You don't talk about the person, because that is where you cross the line, I think. And I think they're under pressure, and they're under more pressure than they've ever been. They're being attacked.
Is there any
more
way
ever.
that what's happening in the Rugby Championships could come in for the World Cup in terms of
With
they
the
just do
yellows
straight
into-
yellow and then
yeah.
leave it to someone else?
I sincerely hope so.
Yeah. What's
think
down
I
to
would-
World Rugby?
that
and
would-
who's
that would
yeah.
be-
I went a bit
make
strong. I thought they
far
were
better
bringing it
sense.
in, but I think they are considering bringing it
Yeah,
in.
you
But
got.
they
Yeah,
have
I
to
got very
bring it in.
excited because I couldn't believe that World Rugby had made an efficient decision.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Gotta go
no.
through a few
Well, that actually leads us
councils first.
very nicely into the bulk of our show as we sit here in the sunshine in Ibiza.
Is that not it? I feel like I've been here for fucking several days.
Yeah.
That's
No,
my
no.
best material.
That's
I've
the
done it.
hors
I've
d'oeuvre.
done that. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
was it?
that was your best material. So this season in particular, change has been in short supply. What change there has been fairly unexpected. I suppose the biggest headlines this year have been the 2 clubs that have gone bust in the Premiership, the tackle height that's been lowered dramatically and has caused all sort of uproar around the grassroots of the game. And of course, the big breaking change this season is the fact that England have put names on the back of their shirts. So
You
the
know,
game is
you know
ripping
there's not
forwards.
much going on when that.
I'm gutted about that, by the way.
Why?
I missed out on that.
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
Yeah. I'm amazed you didn't actually
Yeah,
write
you
your
would've
own
done it
name on
yourself.
that.
I did in crayon, but it
Yeah.
just always came off in the rain. No, I would have. I don't understand why that wasn't a thing.
Well, I don't know why it was made into a thing,
Yeah.
but it
Well,
is
no,
what it
because
is. Anyway, let's move on.
No, could you imagine a load of like bumbling sort of old? I just don't understand.
Yeah,
for
but we've
500
done
years,
before.
we've never had names on the
I know,
shirt. I
I
just
know,
don't understand. It's about the team. It's about the shirt. It's about the road. It's not about the
Numbers more
individual.
important
The
than the
number, yeah.
individual.
Fuck
Actually,
off.
do you know there's been some...
It's a marketing game. It's an entertainment game. Relax.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll been driven off to Dignitas. Imagine that. Imagine leaving a bus from Twickenham. All the ball and the Blazers. They accidentally just whipped them straight off to Switzerland.
Off to the after-match function.
Imagine that. Hask
In the
driving
sky.
it. Come on, in your pop, in your pop. They all signed it. Yeah, they all love to be here. Next minute. Just a load of Blazers. Just
Not laughing.
I'm
Not laughing. Right, the point is, rugby can move quickly when it wants to. And you think of the South African sides who joined the URC, and that deal was done in an off-season. Everybody moved incredibly quickly. They got it done. And I think most people would say that South Africa joining the URC has improved the league. The gears we know and we hear so often are always whirring behind the scenes in the Northern and Southern Hemisphere. But in the main, the change is very, very hard to see and very, very slow in the way it's implemented. So on this week's show, we have picked 10 categories to throw in some ideas. The boys, for once, because it says in the script...
Really swear through we have.
Yeah, we.
Well, what it says...
I've had nothing
what it
to do with
says...
this. I thought we were done. I thought it was perfect. It was funny about the Saracen sale chat. I was a little bit offensive. We
what
could
it
have
says in
ended
the
it.
Have you had to put back the dinner date?
Yeah,
The dinner.
I fucking honestly, this time it wasn't sanctioned.
Concentrate and give the people some inspiration.
There was no people.
When you concentrate, you can do it, James.
No, I don't
you
want
are
to.
good at what you
I
do.
gave the entertainment. People shit themselves.
It says in my script, but this is totally untrue. The boys, for once, have done some homework. They haven't.
Nails at the...
But what we're going to end up with, hopefully, are some interesting suggestions, some mad suggestions, some that are provocative. All of them, though, are just ideas. And what we'd love is to hear yours in the comments below, and perhaps we'll do a little follow-up show with the best
Would
of the
we really
suggestions
love to hear it? I
from
mean,
the
the social media
wider
guy wants
public,
to hear it. I just
who tune in and listen to
not.
Good, Bad and Rugby. So the 10 categories that we have chosen are competition, laws, marketing, players, media, the calendar, fans, the amateur game, a wild card, and a bugbear to fix. So I shall lead us out.
yeah, because you wrote the whole show.
Well, because somebody around here's got to do something to build a show.
Alex Payne's hallmark
can we get
all
some
over.
rosé quite urgently? Because
Yes, and get angry Payno out. You know, you get angry Payno out.
When the demeanour slips online,
I'm just so bored of carrying the two of you.
The old Delta Mail
very,
suddenly gets
very
all
tiresome.
Right, come on then.
Right.
Competition.
What would you change if I said competition? And I've thrown a couple of little headlines down there.
Well,
so first of all, we've got to sort Europe out.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that we're going to get the European competition that once was. I'm not sure we're going to get the European competition that could be.
Why?
Because I don't think the change is going through as quickly as it
Yeah, but
might.
none of it's going to change. If you're
So I'm
basing
just
on
throwing it out
changes
there.
going through,
Europe,
might as well end the show
Premiership,
there.
Championship,
It's probably going to change.
World
No.
Sevens. I think we'd all agree that the World Cup and the Six Nations,
Yeah. As a Premier,
in both
I think
women
Six
and
Nations
men's,
mega.
are fine.
Mega. Women's Six
Where
Nations
do we
mega.
need to
International
improve
rugby is
competition?
fine.
We need to bin off
International rugby's fine. okay.
every unnecessary sideshow tournament nonsense, Anglo crap off. No, done.
Right.
This
You
goes...
need a small team in the Premiership. You need the best in Europe, right? And if they want to play the auxiliary tournament, they want to play, the side tournament. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But it should be the Premier teams. It should be, if you're good enough, you're in the mix.
Yep.
It should be the best of Europe, and it should be. That's it. That's it. No more, no less. And it should bin off the second team league. You should make bigger squads in the Premiership. You've got 60-man squads. You should make it an entertainment business, and you should just do it from that.
Would you launch a British and Irish league?
I have thought about
Now.
this numerous
This
times.
goes back to your global
Goes
calendar.
back to that, but
Can I just pause you there? He joins in with you about we don't want to talk rugby, and I hate Payno puts too much effort in. You then get into the detail, and he's like, I've been thinking about this for a decade.
Yeah. Me and the king were chatting.
Since we did that show,
The global
a
calendar.
few things have changed. I would still bring that GB, that UK and Ireland league in.
Yeah.
I'd still do the France, Spain, Georgia, Italy league.
Yeah.
But what I would then also do off the back of it, academies learn nothing from their academy players.
Agreed.
They invest a shitload of money into
Unless
them
they play them.
to find out, but then they play them all at the same time in
Yes.
an Anglo-Welsh Cup.
in a
and
game.
it's just
And they
becomes
all
academy
lose, and
against
they're like, wonder why they
academy.
lose, because
And
you
it's
changed the whole
like,
fucking team.
well, it
That's
doesn't
fine.
matter. They don't use them to actually. They should. Well, in some ways, if nothing changes, they should give them to championship clubs to let them play. But they don't do that. They try and fleece the championship clubs, which I wouldn't do. What I thought about the other day is, and this will unfortunately go across quite a few of your categories.
Our categories, one team.
No, your categories.
categories.
Will there be a boy who can swim as fast as a shark? Is that what you thought?
Is I I think the whole thing needs to invest in stadiums, and these stadiums need to grow to
Multi-purpose.
a
We haven't
minimum.
got enough fans at the moment. Why are you building stadiums
because
without fans
we're
yet?
reducing games in the format.
Ah.
So if you're going to reduce the amount of games, you have to grow the stadium, which will fill. But that would also come to the amateur game, where you move the professional game to not run alongside the amateur game.
Yes, agreed.
Because how many of
hello.
our fans do we lose who are playing rugby on a Saturday, who would go to a game
Agreed.
if they weren't playing rugby on a Saturday?
Excellent point, Mike. Here.
Or you make all amateur games on a Sunday. Yes,
Huzzah.
you'll miss some on the people who play on a Sunday night, but you won't. Why
It's almost
don't
like you should make it a summer game, like I've been talking about for about. How long are we doing this
I tell you
shambles
what,
thing?
sitting here in
So,
Ibiza,
yeah,
there's a little stadium as you drive from the airport to the main
Yeah.
hotel. I think we should.
And do you know
make
what
a
you
little
say? The grass.
GPR weekend
Okay, rule number one to all this:
tournament.
disconnect the grassroots, like you're saying, from the top level game. You're not. There's no crossover.
Yeah.
The values, the life, the love. Keep this contained here. This is lovely. This is pristine. This is perfect. Move this to a summer sport, so it's entertainment, long hospitality, long evenings, amazing games, dry weather, well-watered pitches, great entertainment, fan interaction.
well-watered fans.
Well-watered fans,
all the
everything.
pitches.
Why would you even bother? And I don't understand how hard it is to do it. Just go, we're not going to do it now. Then you'd end up compete with rugby league as opposed to football and cricket and rugby league and whatever else.
So that also comes back to the competition side, that if you reduce the number of games, you increase necessarily the number of people in one league, and then you split it into two leagues if you want to play one game. So if you had 12 and 12 of Irish, Welsh, Scottish teams and English teams mixed in two leagues, then you can make the European Cup count, because the top four in each one automatically go straight into a knockout.
Yeah.
But every game has counted. Every game has mattered that you've played in your. What would you play? 11 games. In your 11 games to get to that point, every game will count. So you can't take it easy. So you get your best players on the field all the time, trying to play the blessed rugby, knowing that they're not playing an extended season. They might play 16 games in the whole season instead of they might have to hang out for 30.
Yeah.
You can build the rest weekends in around Six Nations. You can build them around the internationals to still allow people to best prepare for international rugby. But I still don't, whether it's fair or not, I don't think it's right that, Johnny Sexton could play 6 games. Whereas if you play in this format where every game could possibly get you into Europe, get you out of Europe, affect revenue, and you're playing in front of 25, 30,000 people every week, no one would want to miss a game.
Yeah.
But
also, this is where it goes, is then what has to talk about bigger squads to increase your revenue. The day before or the evening before, you play your genuine second teams, a la 20 years ago, where you still have international players coming back from injury, people who aren't picked for the 23 on the weekend. I know someone's going to say this makes it quite hard, because then if someone gets injured in the warm-up, you don't have a player to replace it. I get
Well,
that.
you have
but-
27 on
yeah,
match day,
so
yeah.
then what I've always said about the game, I would prefer more people on the bench anyway to give you tactical advantage of
But
tactical
fewer
control.
Yeah,
numbers
but
of
also, if the
replacements.
championship is never going to be promoted because of the laws
Yeah.
and the ring fence relegation,
Yeah.
then the championship, I know a lot of boys out there fighting for it. Some people still get paid. The cream of the championship would then go into the squads of the Premiership. You would then have bigger squads. They would then play, and then the championship will become what the championship is. It'd be less monetized. And as the RFU have said, or Bill Sweeney said, that they don't feel like that is a resourcing pool for the Premiership, which isn't. If you're good enough, you're in the Premiership already.
Yeah.
You're picked up as academy players. You've been off the academy. The Championship will lose some of its best players. They will go into the wider squad. So you suddenly got 65-man squads
Yeah.
in the Premiership. You've got less teams. You then play those games the night before. You've got more competition in training. You've got more resilience. You've got more players and more opportunities. And suddenly you've got less demand. And suddenly you're able to have a genuine cycle.
And potentially you can double up your revenue. If you've got, if I went back to I talk about this a lot, my second team that I first played for Bath, which was Dave Hilton, Federico Mendes, John Mallett, Herman Lanez, Brian Cusack, Nathan Thomas, Benoit Duran, Eric Peters, Andy Nicol, Richard Butland.
This is the second team.
Yeah.
Richard Butland, John Pritchard, myself, Bolsh, Ian Evans, and Adeo.
The only shit-ass ones, there's Tyndall in it. On
If you went to see that team taking on an equal team from Gloucester, it was who we played against.
Yeah.
Didn't quite have the equal team at that point, but you would sell that on a Friday night, and then you're getting double the revenue yet you're using your
And
stadium.
if it's a
Or you could
multi-purpose
do-
stadium and you own it,
Yeah.
you've got conferencing all week, you've got live music events in the week, and you've also then got double revenue for the night before.
Every game needs to matter. There's too many games where people get rest. I mean, Sarries have been guilty of it. I'm not blaming Sarries because they're playing the system, but the last 2 weeks, or last 2 games of the season, they played everyone else, didn't they? And
Yeah.
they rested all their players,
Yeah.
which gave 2 teams that beat them a comfortable victory, which they would probably never have got
Yeah.
if they were playing the first. It takes that away, but you're playing a shorter season, so the players will want to play anyway because
Yeah.
they'll be playing less games. Plus, it gives you the opportunity to build a decent second team league where actually you get to learn about your players, you get to learn about your academy players, you get to play around with before you let them in. You could even put them in a championship, and you basically try and work it so every league was the same size, played at the same time, so that everyone plays the same game. You have the same windows for international because it's going to all be built around international around the world, and then you have a global season that starts, finishes at the same time with international breaks. Everyone plays the same amount of games. No one can complain.
And the top 4 then go into.
You sort of petered off
So-
here.
Yeah.
You're like, no one
I'm
can
running.
complain.
Yes. And I've run out of battery.
So the top 4 then go through to the
so I would-
Super Cup.
so yeah,
top 4
top-
Prem, top 4 URC,
Yeah,
top 4
so-
top 14, top 4 Super Rugby.
No, so top 4 of the European League, and then the French would have their league. So
Yeah.
the top 4, they all shift into the the Heineken Cup European competition, straight into knockouts.
Yeah.
So you're going straight into either last 16. It might be last 16, depending on how many teams you can get in that French one. Last 16 into.
And you go straight into
quarterfinals.
knockouts from the
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
So I think that is brilliant. I
Yeah.
think all the group
Because-
stages of Europe
yeah.
now, no one's interested. It has
Because
to be
everyone
knockout
rests,
rugby.
and well, you don't even know what's going on in this competition. And then the last 4 of that European competition go into the Super Cup.
Yes.
Brilliant. So everybody plays their leagues at the same time.
Yeah.
Those who come top in the top 4 of their leagues go into a top tier competition. Everybody else, I think, at that point should play a domestic knockout competition. So you bring back Cornish Pirates against Gloucester or whatever it is, and those are for the clubs who haven't necessarily
Yeah, so
got
you
the
could,
wherewithal.
you could
So,
drop one.
so,
Yeah.
so you all play league. Top teams go into the Super Cup. The best of that then go into top teams go to the Heineken Cup. The best of that lot go into the Super Cup against the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
The rest go into a domestic knockout competition in their own countries, and you just play knockout
And
rugby.
then you
from
fly
that
them
point.
all to an island and you put like weapons on, and then the last one standing wins.
It's like Hunger Games.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you fight.
Can we have it on this island?
And the people in
And we'll
and
commentate
you
from the
could,
booth.
yeah, and
It's
you
going,
could-
it's going on the island that takes
and
an hour
you-
and a half to swim.
Yeah,
then you could,
exactly.
then you could, like, if you like someone I don't know who's really popular, plays rugby. I don't know. Well,
James Haskell.
No, I wasn't popular, but you'd send something to him like, "Oh, James's arm's fallen off. Here's a potion to grow it back." Do you know what I mean? I think that will work quite well.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yep, it was going quite well until that point, but we'll keep going nevertheless. So we're playing regularising. Is that a word?
Regularising.
Regularising is a word.
Yeah.
The league system, and then everybody plays knockout competitions.
Yeah,
Yes.
and making every single game matter.
Yeah, and if you're crap,
people care.
and if you're
Good.
crap,
And
like
try
a
and
metaphor
keep.
for life,
sorry,
you're
what
just not good enough.
What we missed out of that is always trying to keep derbies.
Yes.
Yeah. But the point is, I think
I
as well,
totally agree
rugby's
with.
done what the rest of the world's done, is that it's going to give opportunities for everyone. If you're crap, you're not good enough, you're not going to make it.
Right.
It's not about going, oh, you can have a go, or here's an
Little
auxiliary
Timmy,
tournament.
keep
yeah.
playing, mate. You could do it.
Here's a little side tournament that, it's sort of quite good if you win it. It's like, if you weren't good enough first place, that's it, you're done.
Right.
You don't get to play. Thanks for coming. That's life.
And no rugby on international weekends.
No.
Good.
No.
Right, so I'm actually going to jump forward to the second category. I'm going to pull up the league, which is amateur rugby, because I think that feeds straight into this. So you've already said separate amateur from professional.
Yeah.
Yes.
What it feels like, certainly in England, is there is too much going on at the top. There is the Premiership, there is the Championship, there's the A-League, there's the Prem Cup. There's
and
too
also
much.
stop letting what's happening in professional rugby affect
yeah.
what's going into
Yes,
grassroots
okay.
rugby.
So let's simplify that. You're going to have the Prem, because I think one of the things, particularly around amateur rugby, is to invest in the Bucks League, which is the University Rugby League. I think you have got potential there for, much like in America, where it's college football into the NFL.
Yeah.
If you invest in that university league, you've got a ready-made audience who you could engage spectacularly with you on the decks at every game. You've got some unbelievably talented players. You've got a draft system then you stick on the end of the season to see who picks out what talent. And
Well, it could also take a lot of pressure off academies.
yes, well, this is it. I would
And people
remove
getting education.
academies, and I'd probably, I don't quite know, but I haven't quite fixed the Championship into the Premiership thing.
No, well, yeah, but I've
You'd
said
probably
that.
have a
You said,
playoff.
that, you said that because
if you blend
You're
that with,
disassociating the two.
yeah, she's dissociating
So-
it too, and the Championship is not a money-making exercise. They're never going to get
but
promoted.
it's supported by professional sport.
Yeah,
It has to be if you're going to use those.
but you take
So
the
maybe-
cream's going to come out of the
So
Championship.
maybe
Suddenly got
what
bigger
you
squads.
do is you have your University League,
Death
which you-
Island is what.
which, your Death Island. When you've completed Death Island, you're brought back into the system. you invest in your University League, which is a really clear pathway into the Premiership for those players who've got the ability. If you're not quite ready for Premiership, you then get the option to go into the Championship, and there is also a bit of a draft system from the Champ into the Premiership for those players who need a bit longer to mature.
Yeah, it's somewhere where people can pick from. You know,
Yes.
it's an easy place for a Premiership to look into. It's a fishbowl where the people are playing every week, and they go, actually, he's playing really well. You can snap it up.
Yeah.
And if you do it through unis and you do little segments for it's associated with each team, and if they don't grab someone, you can put in a bid to take him out and make it look like who could we steal or.
And also, from a marketing point of view, you have the tribalism, you have the emotion, you have a ready-made fan base excited to cheer. So you cut out the Barber Brigade, you cut out the corporate nature. You have a condensed.
Is this in the Bucks?
Yes, in the Bucks.
Yeah.
You have a condensed, boiled down, tribal, emotional, primal audience, all ready to lap up the competition, the fun, the everything with it. So it's marketable. You
20p a shot. DJ booth.
Yeah. You can sort of
right at
make it then like so. It's weird. You got the men's game at the moment, which is I think pretty dry and kind of stoic and full of alakadoo.
Yeah.
You've got the women's game, which is fresh, which is exciting, but as a byproduct, all very fun, very nice, and very polite, and everything that men's rugby should be.
Yeah.
And then you've got the university rugby, which is like primal
Sort of another
animals,
positive
and then
of
so
that,
you can really make that an entertainment thing because students will lap up anything as long as they have to pay for it.
You
they're
get
fine.
Red Bull in on that.
I've just made
Thursdays.
I've found an additional positive of that. Biggest problem with local grassroots clubs like Minchinhampton is when kids go away to uni, they lose their best players on a Saturday. Now we've changed the league setup so we're playing at different times. Once the season's over, they would have the guys who maybe aren't pushing their way forward, who are coming back from uni, who aren't necessarily going to be playing week in, week out, and they can play for their local clubs.
But the reason you talk about in America for college games, 60 to 100,000 people. There's not even a Premiership game or international game in the world that maybe if you some of the Gabba, if you like for the Lions, if you sell out, you get 100,000. That level of kind of primal student cheerleader thing. The university league in this country is like that if you can harness it, steer it in the right direction. The Premiership's
why
missing
did they
out.
used to get 80,000 to Oxford? Cambridge?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you can do that. It's already there. It's just steering it in the right direction, making it
because it's actually less about the rugby. It's more about the Leeds
spectacle.
Met against Leeds Uni.
Whereas Twickenham rugby is meant to be sat in silence, and everyone's just having a jolly good time. If you stand up, sit down.
Well, we go back to the feeling of when the women played against France at Twickenham.
There you go. That's
completely different audience. Who were there to just enjoy themselves.
Would you have a relegation playoff between bottom of the Prem and top of the Champ?
Fuck that off.
You wouldn't even do that as a kind of a high
not if you've built it in the way where it's known as it's a feeding ground.
Have you been listening to the last 10 minutes? That doesn't feature in any way.
It gets the support from the professional game in terms of allowing it to be the breeding ground for the next generation or for people, and you can pick and choose from it, and they should get monetized off the back of it. But then it would allow for a strong league that's not necessarily trying to manipulate numbers so that they can get promoted.
No.
So no.
Absolutely not. It's completely.
You would never give an Exeter or an Ealing Trailfinders or back in the day Cornish Pirates.
Well, not if you're talking about we need 25,000 seat stadiums, because none of them are ever going to get that.
No, and also the point is that all the players from that championship who made it will have been filtered up because of the bigger squads to play different games.
Good, answered.
Right, it's going to be dramatic changes.
Yeah, it's dramatic.
Okay.
That's
But we've already said there's going to be more players, so we're going to be sweeping off all the best players anyway.
Third category. What law would you change to improve rugby union? And you can be big and bold, or you can just tweak something.
The first thing is the TMO is done on a private screen at the side of the field and not put on the big screen. And the decisions are like NFL.
And they don't tell you who the TMO is, so they can never get the abuse.
Yeah, and it's put on the side. It's no TMO, and they go across the side of the field for review. He goes, he throws the flag, and like NFL goes, I'm going to review the play. I'm number 75.
It comes up on the big screen, goes, ooh,
yeah.
If you're going to make them anonymous, why do you actually need a referee on the pitch at all? Why can't you just?
Oh, because
No, because I mean for
you need the
big
human
decisions.
nature, big decision. Because
Because you just do it from a booth.
yeah, but you need,
faceless.
but also you
You
need
just
to
have a siren every
yeah,
time
but the
they
thing
knock
is,
off.
VAR can't get it right in football.
You just have a drone with a whistle.
You need that level of connection, because I think referees are still there to facilitate an emotional connection. That's part of the role play, the fabric, the
voice of
tapestry
God
of the
there.
game.
We have gone with faceless TMO. Have you got a law you'd change? Can I just throw in there for the sake of it?
Yeah, of course you
If
can.
there is no competition in the line out, you don't have to throw it straight. If they put a pod up against you, fine.
That's a nice one.
It's just,
Like that.
let's just get on with it.
I changed. Look, you have to wait.
What?
Like to wait, like if you want a faster game, maybe just weigh people. I'm just throwing it out there. Someone said this on social media, like weight-related teams. Like a team cannot be over a certain weight or they can't play.
Oh, okay, I like
Like
that.
that. Do you know what I mean? So you know, because that loses all the
Chaz
fat.
and
lad.
Colby's are very useful.
Yeah.
Because you get a double uni out.
Yeah, someone just said that to me. I don't really look at comments.
Okay.
Someone said a weight, because you know kids rugby, allegedly, I don't think it's necessarily the case, but in the UK, obviously you've got that massive sort of dumper kid who runs through everyone and then never learns to run down, never learns to catch, have humility. Hold on there.
Well, you've got so many set caps.
So you're saying there's a chance? No. So, but in New Zealand, but it's not done with necessarily. It's not done necessarily with weight. Age. It's done with weight. So that's why it works out. I wondered whether the game would be more flowing. We've talked about having less people on the field, but they're not going to change that. So imagine you had just a weight the team could be.
Yeah.
And you have to choose where you put that weight. So all the fat lads in the front row going, "Oh, I need the scrum depth for scrumming." They were like, "No, you can't have that anymore."
Have it.
No,
So
you wouldn't have a
any-
150 kg prop. Do you know what I mean?
Any bugbears?
Look, I still think the ambiguity of people putting their hands down and sliding back is missed, and it's all. I've said this before. Old school stepping over. Can't steal the ball.
Bit of shoe
step
pie.
across. No, not you have shoeing. Don't bring that back. But
Why not?
You have to step.
Bring it back. Bring back the shoe.
You can't steer. You can't bend forward with
Okay.
both feet behind
You
the
have to
ruck.
step. Okay.
You have to step over to
Yeah, I like
steal
that.
it.
I like that.
Because then it gives you. You talk about people getting red cards. It takes away that because it gives you 3 points of clearing, and you don't have to get as low to try and pile drive someone.
What
in the back
about
of
if you've
the
been a
neck.
complete plonker in a game, you get put in a stocks post game, referee included, and that's it. And you instead of like dealing with it in the media, they just get lined up and you get pied.
As everyone goes home.
Yeah, you get pied.
Yeah.
You get pied, and then that's it. And then
Yeah.
you never talk of it again.
Yeah.
Like if you made a bad decision, you got a yellow card, you get pied, publicly shamed.
Yeah.
Not within like bricks, but like cabbage, a custard pie, old tomatoes, and then that's done.
Right.
I think that would deal with a lot of I think we're quite good, wouldn't it?
Can I throw my real renegade one out?
Here we go. Yeah.
So I did something. Do you remember I did the Bermuda Tens a couple of years
Yeah,
ago?
or you tried to make us invest in that long-lasting thing that went really well. Are you doing it next year? Funny that because it blew up. Shock. Yeah, the bemusing tens. It should have been called.
Yeah,
So
the
it was
greatest
very, I
word
didn't
that
actually-
Alex ever comes out with. It's really interesting.
This is really
Run for the hill.
interesting. Right, I'll tell you where I am. Let me know where I am.
Run.
I'm
I'm
going to
out.
start
I'm
doing this on
out.
my own quite soon,
Yeah,
I think.
I'm out. Would you want to invest? I'm out of there. Yeah, the one that took you 18 years to get paid. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Well, that's the same as this fucking shit show. So, and that's mainly down to you. So shut up.
The bemusing tens, right?
The Bemusing Tens. What was interesting about the Bemusing Tens
Tell us, Alex,
is
what
that
was?
it was a thinking game. So you could pick a team
Yeah.
of entirely fat people who would just scrum it, or absolute whippets who would just run it from everywhere.
Right.
And what that made me think is rugby used to be a game of thought. It is just, at the moment, at the top level, it's about line speed, bludgeon, one-out rugby. It's all very kind of mechanical,
Sounds like my love life.
very similar to your love life. What
Low speed.
what I think everybody agrees with is that there is no space on the field now, although there has been with the goal line dropouts, etc., etc. I really want it to become a thinking person's game again. So my concept is to remove a back rower and make it a 14-man game.
Yeah.
And what that means is that you can then pick a hybrid pair like Jack Noel, who was trumpeted, and you can play an 8-man scrum if you want to, or you can play a 7-man scrum with 2 flankers if you're defending, or you can play a 7 and 8 if you want to attack. But you suddenly start to get teams thinking about what they want to do where they are in the field. It opens up a bit more space. It gives the breakdown perhaps a slightly less competitive field to it.
Yeah.
But also the other change I would make is I would give the side who puts the ball into the scrum the decision as to whether they want it uncontested or contested. So if it is 5 metres out, you've got 2 minutes to go and you've got your 2 fat props on, you say, cool, we're going to play a contested scrum. And then suddenly the crowd comes alive.
Yes.
If you are on halfway and you have only got 7 in the scrum and you
Yeah, I like
really
that.
want to kind of
Yeah.
chuck the
You've
ball
thought about
around,
this, yeah.
I do like that.
then You just say, "Oh, I'll have an uncontested scrum because I want to play some rugby."
You made me think of something that you could throw in as well. So you could throw in
Can
like...
you just go back to both of you? You just both said you like that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Can we frame
that was good. Yeah,
and
we like that.
I was just thinking you
14-man
could
game,
add in
away we
like
go.
a cricket and add in a power play where
Yes.
you get to pick to take 2 players of your 2 opposition players off the field. They have to leave for 10 minutes.
So they did that at the Bermuda Tens, and in competition you could like transfer players.
I've said this before. What about in ice hockey? I said it before, numerous times. What about in ice hockey? If there's any confrontation, you throw your shirts off, and then you have to
get
fill
30
each other in. As soon as someone's out, you're done. I mean, it's not great for concussion and everything else like that.
No.
But it works in ice hockey. And, the Americans are pioneers.
It's,
So
it's first on the floor. They don't often get them to knock out there.
No.
I
I
think the
mind
game
that.
needs things like. Do you remember the wall? Like New
Yes,
Zealand used to
yeah.
run. Well, that in the
I know.
barbars often
Back row moves.
Absolutely
When I was coaching the
unbelievable.
barbars, I brought back the wall.
But why is there nothing? Why is there no
Wow.
thinking rugby now?
Because everyone just
Creativity's
gets
died,
hoed
yeah.
in the back.
Yeah.
Professional sport, everyone just flies
sport,
up
everyone's really fit.
fills you
And
up
they
in
get
the
off the
back.
line super quick, and they put your spine through your belly button, and then you spend the rest of the time in traction.
Okay, well,
yeah,
I
I know. It
it's
seems
a
like a
see.
good
No,
idea.
but
doesn't
I
it?
I quite like that, and
And the thing is, it's great to do a back row move, but
yeah.
the scrum's going forward, are sideways at 500 miles an hour. You try and do a move, but to be fair,
But
somebody.
if you're playing off an uncontested scrum, you can do
I'll
what
tell
you
you who
want.
we watched.
We just get a
Who
shoulder.
we watched who did it was France. France in Twickenham pulled out an unbelievable back row move. Aldrich ran, little inside ball,
Oh, yes.
scored.
Yeah,
that was
Yeah.
très bien. Et c'est pas mal. C'est très bien.
Do you think the game? Do you think 15 on 15 is
Dead.
well not dead
Bring
necessarily?
back the 10,
but does it?
12.
You can't say that the.
It's not dead.
I think no. I think you're looking too much at it. I think if you look at the game as a whole, to watch and to play, it's in a pretty good place.
Yeah.
I think whatever level you watch it at. Now
Okay.
you would more say that it's the competitions and what does it all mean and where's it going. But you look
Quite an
at
existential question there. What does it mean?
yeah. I think, but if you tell me a bad game that you've watched recently, especially international. Whereas I know your frustration mainly lied around the Champions Cup, and you didn't really get it. There was not the passion that it used to be with the fans.
No,
You're quite nostalgic. You're quite romantic.
But yes,
you
well,
used to be
I
Sky. You
think
used to have something about
but I
yourself.
think that's
You used to
'cause
travel in
I'm sitting here on a
style.
rooftop
That's what I
drinking
mean.
rosé with you.
But I
Yeah,
think that's
that's-
because it's gone away from its format and it's gone away from its root. It's been over commercialised, but not in the right way. And
Like I've been over commercialised, but I'm still fun and down to earth. But I've got money in the
Always
bank.
about, it's no wonder we're
Yeah.
staying at the Me Hotel. It's pretty
Yeah,
appropriate.
Yeah, it is.
Me, myself, and I.
And
Yeah.
and
Unbelievable. It wasn't a
Yeah.
coincidence.
that's
Hask
exactly.
has just changed
Welcome
his
to
name
my hotel.
Yeah.
to Me by
By
Hask.
me.
Yeah.
By Hask. Yeah.
Aramis.
It's
Me by
me,
Hask.
by me.
Okay, so category number 4,
But bring
marketing
some
of the
rosé.
game. I'm going to give you each £1 million.
Are we still doing this?
Yeah, we're going to fly through though.
We're on
You've got £1 million.
three.
No, we're not. We're on 4.
Four.
We're going to fly
Oh.
through them. I think we've kind of done calendar.
So
Give you a budget of £1 million. What are you going to do with it to make people interested in the game?
all right, lol.
that was a sniff for a pause for like a moment. I was trying to think, how would I market it? Because
Well, you've got great ideas, but
I'm
you're just
great
talking
at-
very generic
I'm
terms.
great at
normally.
pointing out people's problems. I've
Yeah.
got no solution.
Okay, so my idea, just
Oh God.
put some thought
I
into
think
it.
this is about this whole show is about your
I would
idea.
take
Yeah.
10 grand per club per month, and I would give it as a bonus to the player that created the best content online.
You've stole that from golf, but other.
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
I genuinely, I promise to God, I've not seen
By
that.
osmosis, you've nicked it, but
So that's what led.
So
to,
you could earn another
Yeah.
100 grand a year as James Haskell Incorporated by creating
Only?
good content.
only. What? I'm having a bad year, am I?
That's 5 times what you're on at Northampton, so take the money
is
where
true,
you
yeah,
can.
that's true.
If there was a 10 grand check
Yes,
on a monthly
yes.
basis, would you concentrate on your, would you have done more
I already
content?
I didn't concentrate on the playing. All I did was concentrate
Stupid
on
question.
social media.
Tins, as someone with some sense.
Oh, you have to teach them what
No,
the
I think
Would
internet
that,
is.
would,
It's
would
not-
that interest the players?
I think
enough?
if there was a bonus out there, I think it's a bad way of using $1 million.
I think it's got to be the match day experience has to be looked at. So how the game's digested, the entertainment. The moment you capture a fan, arrive in a car park, what is their experience? Like what is the entertainment? Are they amused the entire time? People's, like Eddie Jones said, was it 19 seconds the average attention span is? So there's a happy medium. So you've got 30 seconds is the more that people the only amount that people can concentrate. How do you capture that every moment of the game? And then is it stats? Is it shows in the week? Is it every club does a show and a review? And they start to do it now. They're trying to do it. Do they put personalities? Do they promote people? Do they make the game day experience amazing?
Yeah.
Do they give access that you wouldn't ordinarily have? They allow cameras everywhere, changing room cameras. warm-up cameras in the week, reviews the whole time. Do people feel like got ownership?
You know
of
what
it?
I watched the other day was The Blind Side, and when Michael Ower's little brother, who was in the family, whatever he was called, SJ or whatever he was called, and he was in all the college bartering things. He's like, "What are you going to offer me?" He says, "Well, SJ, I got you. You're going to lead the team out every home game. We're going to get you out." So that's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
He's like selling that you give a chance. Every game, someone gets to lead the team
Yeah.
out. You do the whole hoopla when everyone runs out to try and get the fans going.
They're not just like a
Try and get
trumpet.
away from just the,
Yeah. It's like everything's a spectacle in a moment, and you're playing to the most common denominator desire while retaining the professionalism and the moment on the field. So the NFL, the game, the collisions, the intensity, the professionalism, the sport science is there. The razzmatazz is for common denominator idiots. The reason I'm a Celebrity has won every award, every year's lighter. It plays to everybody's sort of fucking natural desires. People think they could go into jungle. Everyone wants to eat a slug. No one knows where they could do it. You know, and you've got to play to that innate thing. That's why the Colosseum back in the day. You know, what is it the Emperor said? Give them games and gives them bread, and they will be fucking entertained. It's the same thing. People are not sophisticated. Essentially, play to their base desires. As soon as you get them arriving,
So you're giving out bread at Premiership?
No, you dickhead. It's metaphorical bread. It's play.
I'm giving you a
It's
million
real bread. Real bread.
You've done a deal with Hovis.
This is
fireworks.
Give them fireworks. Give them fireworks. Give them post-show. Give them entertainment. Give them interaction. Give them stats. Give them detail. Explain what the fucking rules are. Get them mic'd up. Get the referee mic'd up so everyone in the stadium can hear.
You've gone off on one of your completely.
No, it's not. It's true. It's true. When a referee makes a decision, he needs to go, you know, number
Too
5,
many men
James
on the field.
Haskell, hands in the
Yes,
ruck,
that is true.
inappropriate,
Yeah.
trying to steal the ball, penalty, boom, play it.
Yeah.
You have to spell it out to the idiot. The average man on the street is a fucking moron.
Welcome to all of you.
Well,
Tuning in.
yeah,
Lovely to have you
welcome.
with
Thank
us.
you for tuning in. We really appreciate your support.
Right, okay, so you haven't spent my money very well. There's bread,
I have. I've
there's
literally
bread on the
built an
sideline.
empire.
Have you got anything
I
else?
said
I
bread and
was gonna
game.
say,
I'm going to find what it
with
is.
this-
Fucks. I'm going to say exactly what it is.
I don't know whether this would play into marketing, but you know, I look at sort of Gloucester Net, the old South African tailgating. Like if I was at Gloucester, I would shut down. They have done it in the past. Shut down the whole of Kingsholm Road. You have activations. You have kids there. There might be 18,000 watching it in the ground, but you want 5,000 watching on a big screen outside where you shut it down. They can go do passing, kicking, different challenges. There's pop-up bars there's pop-up food along the streets. Everyone is in the street, but there's a massive screen that everyone can watch every day at both ends of Kingsholm Road. There's 4 pubs along Kingsholm Road. They can dive in, dive there. They can have bars outside, and then everyone is invested.
Okay,
there's
sorry.
18 in there. There's 5,000 outside. And that way you part of something that's going
Okay, I made a mine. It's give them bread and circuses, bread and games, similar, right? Same thing. Yeah. Informed, firstly, it says the phrase bread and circuses hails from the line in Satire X, a poem by Roman poet Juvenal, who was writing it around 100 AD, that used to grant power in high office, the legions, everything, curtails its desire and reveals its anxiety for 2 things only, bread and circuses. If you give the people bread and circuses, they will be entertained, they will be happy, and they'll be quieted. Is the Premiership bread and circuses? No. It's bread and
prawn sandwiches and bollocks.
It's prawn sandwiches and bollocks. Is what it is.
Well done, Emperor Nero.
Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah. Informed. Public
So
school education.
I think marketing leads straight into fans because the two are obviously inextricably linked. Oh, what's wrong with you?
No.
Crumbling. So because we're going into this, so what would you do for the fans? So I think we should have celebrity man of the match interviews.
It's not. I made that mistake. It's celebrity star of the match. There's none of that anymore.
No,
What do you mean?
There's no such thing as celebrity
So
man.
it's celebrity star of the match. So
I made that
get
mistake. I went
Henry
ideal man and the
Cavill.
celebrity man of the lady of the
Right,
woman
so
of the day of the
celebrity
match.
player of the
day
match
match.
because it's 2023.
Yeah.
I would give celebrity. I get interesting people giving out the man of the match.
Yeah.
Not their old
Russ
Neil-
Abbott.
Yeah. But what you were saying then about Kingsholm Road, I think, is why I went straight on to fans, which is I would actually detach people who want to go to Twickenham to watch a game from people who want to go to Twickenham to have
But
a
you
prawn
build
sandwich.
that outside.
Yeah.
Yes, so I would shut down the
If
North
you
car
want to go
park,
to
the
any
West car park.
NFL games that
Yeah.
are now hosted over here
Yeah.
at Wembley or whatever,
Yeah.
and you see what is
Yes.
out going on outside that stadium.
Yeah.
It's
You've got to
a day
prove your rugby credentials
it's a
to get
day
into the stadium.
It's a day to come and be around. You don't even know what's going on on
That-
Some guy
That's
grabs you
right.
up against the wall and goes, right, do you work in investment banking? Do you own a barber?
Yeah.
Do you have red trousers?
If you're wearing
Do you
a
like
gilet,
cravatted?
you're not
allowed
Are you
it.
wearing a gilet?
Yeah.
Do you go shooting?
Yeah.
Do you have a country estate? Do you like a holiday in the Dordogne? You're fucking not allowed in, chief. Get out, and that's it. You're sent away.
Shame for one or two of us. But I do think there is something around getting proper fans back into Twickenham.
Of course there is.
On match day.
Of course,
And I think it's-
yeah.
And what highlighted
There
that
is
was the
still-
England-France finale to the
So
Women's Six
again,
Nations.
I took my daughters to see England-France.
Yes.
I took Mia anyway. And in the back, there was dodgem cars. There was all the basketball shooting things. It was
Yeah.
a bit of a carnival type
Yeah. Circus.
feel.
It was a circus.
It was a circus.
It was
bread,
bread
and
and
lots of bread.
circuses. That's the point.
And everyone was out there. I know they have all the activations, which all it's like moe.
Yeah.
Bollington,
Herding.
But they do still have the concert bit and the live
Violet's
music, but-
chundered in the bolly tent. We've got to go home.
But then
She's done it in the pocket of my gilet. My Schofield fleece is full of sick. We've got to go home. Annabelle needs to go back.
Shuffle. It's not Schofield.
Oh, who gives a shit?
Those of us who wear them.
Scoff.
The other thing I'd do for the fans would be that with the women now selling out Twickenham, hopefully one game a season, I would move the men around the country. So I'd take that England Barbados fixture on the road, and I think every year that we have 3 home Six Nations games, I'd play one of them at Old Trafford.
Easily.
I think we need to get the North reconnected with the England team.
yeah,
Really?
don't disagree.
I did a game prior to the 2019
But
World Cup.
also
at St
What do you mean?
James's.
The North's
Did
connected.
they
The North's
play-
It's not to
connected.
the England team, it's not.
Hey, how?
They
The
played
whole
in-
team's full of northern people.
No, not with the
Who
players, with the
played?
supporters, the fans, the people in the...
Oh, shit, but they don't want to come down. It takes several days to
So
get
let's go to them.
But that's also like why, right?
Why what?
Why?
Why
Why?
is the Heineken Champions Cup always in a place
I don't know.
that is rugby? Why can't we went to St James's? We went to St James's Park that one year.
Yeah.
We did Heineken,
Yeah.
and it sold it out and it smashed it, and it was great. So why can't we go back to St James's Park? Why can't we go to Old Trafford for those games?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be? Oh, is it?
Why don't we take
because-
it into
Hey,
Europe to
oh,
spread
is
the
it- is the-
European? Why do you play
is
at the
the-
San Siro?
is
Or-
there-
Yes,
Yeah.
that'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What would you do with the players? What do the players need to do? What do they want? More money, obviously. I would.
But they also
I've
need
done
to
a bit of the goodness.
they need to realise where they're at. That there
So
isn't the money.
I
right
think
now,
that's
but-
really interesting. What I said was every player gets affiliated with a club, and you give 1 hour a week. You're going to hate this, but I think it's really important. You can do 1 hour a week or 4 visits over a season, and you get involved with training, sign kit, sponsors
But that's
evening,
like,
kids
it's like
rugby.
super. I was part of the Manitoba Maggots or whatever they're called. Manitoba Maggots in
Manawatu,
Manawatu Maggots. Yeah, yeah. Maggots, yeah.
bleed green.
Oh, cut me and I'll bleed cash.
Why did
And
they-
what was
I-
that like?
Why did they pick?
I
me
never
next
actually
year?
went there, but
Right, brilliant.
but
So I want to do is
yeah,
get them to
but
and go.
No, because I kept getting in the team. If I hadn't got into the Super 15 team, I could have gone back and played a club team there. I don't think that's too bad a thing.
But I think if you had been involved with Minch, and I know obviously there are very different reasons doing it, as a Gloucester player, that would transform the club. And you do a Q&A one night and they raise
works.
some good money, or you do a bit, a signing session or whatever it is, and you
Yep.
put into what we need is the stars of the game putting in at the bottom to help grow.
How
that
about the
process.
stars of the game just be really good at the top of the game and then let the rest just worry about themselves?
Well, so I had to think about that, and in return, you get into a club. If you give into the game,
Yes.
you get into a club which then rewards you for life. So you get really big discounts.
Get
on
free
things that matter.
lukewarm Guinness for the rest of your life.
Media. How would you change, or what alterations would you make to rugby media to enhance, grow?
Well, they've got to understand they're part of something.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
we're all in this together. There is
remit-
written,
I think
there's
we
broadcast,
do
there's
quite a
pod.
good job. I think all other media should just be dissolved and there'd just be us.
Give it all to GBR. All right.
Yeah. I will say this on the media's behalf, which I don't want.
Hello. Can we differentiate
because-
from written
No,
to broadcast?
from everything
Okay.
is the fact that they are given the bog standard answers all the
Yes,
time.
they are
and-
bought.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
they-
very true.
So if
Unlock the players.
If we,
Yes,
if
agreed.
we embrace the players having fun with it and
Break the media, take the media handbook,
Yeah,
tear it up,
tear it
get
up.
rid of all
And
those
just,
55 people in RFU badges in
Yeah.
fleeces that are not, like, that are nothing to do with anything.
Yep.
Stop telling lads you've got to say this you've got to say. Let them speak from the heart.
Okay.
Let them speak from the heart. Let
and
them
then
be
and then if the media then see genuine people, because they always say they want to see genuine characters, but then
actually,
and also
been vilified.
yeah, but listen,
yeah, well
there's
they
not,
always
there's not
are.
enough
Gascoigne
people.
was vilified.
There's not enough people. So, for example, I had a conversation with a
We've got to
man
stop
from the-
vilifying people, right? First and foremost, is people make mistakes, right?
But
Hands
everybody
up.
love everybody.
Hands up.
Yeah.
2 people who've probably done their fair share.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you might have got something wrong. And shock horror, normally the time you feel the worst about it.
Yes.
Because you know you've done something wrong. So it doesn't need someone absolutely drilling you.
My thing is about a broader range of television coverage. And I've been harping on about this for ages. Nobody in the game is talking to my son who's 10, or Mia. If you tune in to watch a Six Nations game, I cannot get my kid to sit on the sofa because it's...
Yeah, but they need to
and,
make it...
and I'm guilty of it, I was back in the day. It's 4 middle-aged people prattling on about things that
Yes,
doesn't
or
connect
wearing
with.
suits.
What you
Why are you
want
wearing a
is-
suit for an England game?
you
It's
want
like 1945, you fucking idiots.
You want Ant and Dec in one corner, or whoever it's going to be, Dick and Dom.
Well, have a red button for kids.
Exactly,
Where
where it's chaos and
it's
carnage
Like,
and
you know,
it's-
press a button and my
Yeah.
head falls off.
Yes.
And, Ellis Genge, you know, press it, you control Ellis Genge, he kills everyone.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You want an app whereby
Yeah.
you can re-clip up Ellis going
Gunge,
some
you know.
gunge gun.
Clive Woodward's fired out of a cannon into, you know what I mean? Can he get through the Can you get Woodward through the posts from the halfway line, from the 10-metre line?
Is this a literal thing, or is this?
No, it's a little
it's
thing. I
it's a
love
game.
Clive. He's, you know, one of
No,
my
no, I
clubs.
meant like
I would definitely do that.
you've got
Let a kid
what?
fire me through the
Yeah.
post into a net.
Yeah.
Right. I do think we've just got to make a broader online a game day offering.
Yes, I
Which
agree.
includes kids
I
and
agree.
people who don't necessarily know the game.
But that also comes back to what we talked about earlier about the fun park outside and letting it all
Yeah.
like that.
Dodgems.
Maybe if you come along, you play in a game, you can win that chance to go onto centre field, take
Yeah.
that 50-metre
What
drop
about the
goal.
one?
You can't do a
yeah,
50-metre
what was if you get a drop
because
goal,
people are
100
telling.
grand drop goal?
So I did.
Like
I
an
did that. I
NBA.
told you this. I did this game between South Africa and Saracens.
A lot of things you tell me, I
a few years ago,
Yeah.
and there was I can still remember his name. He kicked a drop goal
Yeah.
in his socks in the rain, and he won 100 grand.
That's what I mean. We
And
need
he's
more
called
than that.
Stuart Pinner or Tinner or something like that.
Pinner.
And he then got carried off by all the Domino's cheerleading girls. Any wise suggestions for the calendar?
We've
No,
done
no,
calendar.
no,
We've
no,
done-
we've
we've
done
done-
this.
I would
we've done
keep.
calendar.
Welcome to Haycar.
I'm gonna stab
Welcome to
you.
Haycar.
I would keep the
We've got a
three-test
cruise
series.
going on.
Shut up.
Sorry.
I think losing the three-test series is a real shame. Just the three-test series
what?
get interesting.
Why are we losing it?
They're going back to one of
Who's
no.
made these
No.
decisions?
Ireland,
No,
New
I would
Zealand
do-
last summer.
every
England,
summer
Australia.
should be a
Of
but
course
we've
it would.
already
They've got rid of
took-
it.
but we've-
Who?
wait,
Who's
The Brains Trust.
Who's the
Yeah.
brain? What, like a
we've
mega
talked-
mind?
but we've
like,
talked
like
about
Kang from
we've
like
talked about we're reducing games anyway,
Shredder,
so they
just
can have a
fucking
three
making
back
decisions.
three-test series.
Who's this person that makes all these decisions?
I don't know. I don't
Like
care.
the-
right,
the
pick me a
deep
wild
state.
card. Wild card. I've done draft system from the Bucks to the Premiership.
Yeah,
I'd also
yeah,
televised
great
the-
idea. Move
Great
on.
idea. Move on. We agree with you, Alex. That's a great idea. Yeah. Haycar. They've been sponsoring us for quite a while now. They've got reasonably priced cars, all
Right.
for under 100 grand.
Do you think I'll die if I jump off here now?
Have you got a bugbear
Do
to
you think
fix?
I'd die if I
No,
jump from
all
here?
of it's shit. Yeah, that's it. Fix it all.
Rugby. Control Alt
Who's the
Delete.
mega mind? Who's the mega
Alex
mind?
planned this show and put us on a
I
roof.
would give the Lions more
Been here for
space and time to
days.
thrive.
I was drunk when I started.
I'd give Lions greater space to thrive as my bugbear to fix. I think there are far too many voices at the top of rugby, and I would
You
get rid
still
of you.
talking?
Who's the top of the rugby?
I want to get to the end of my show, and I want to talk about the
Who's
things
at
I've
the
put time
top?
into.
Who is the top?
I don't know. They're all faceless wonders.
that's what I
But the
mean.
problem is there are far too many people with far too much to say. We need one person to sort the game out. Right, let's move on to Haycar, who've been featuring prominently over the last 40 minutes as you try to wrap things up. This is our weekly Rugby's Greatest Partnership feature, brought to you by our good friends at Haycar. And this week, because Tins is back from first class at the front of a plane, we've got centre partnerships on the menu. There's going to be a lot of discussion around this one. Keep an eye out for our poll on social channels this Thursday, where you can pick your favourite centre partnerships from Will Greenwood and Michael Tyndall, 2003 World Cup winners and Grand Slammers. Gordon Darcy and Brian O'Driscoll, 2009 Grand Slam winners, significant because it was their first in 61 years. And Ma'ar Nonu and Conrad Smith, with a little asterisk to Sonny Bill, the 2011 and 2015 World Cup winners plus multiple Rugby Championship titles. Discuss.
I feel there's a few that are left out.
Go on, who have we
who?
gone with?
Well, Bunsen Little.
Bunsen Little.
nostalgia,
I'd
you
sign
love that,
right. I
wouldn't
love
Horan
Bunsen Little.
and, Horan and Little.
Nonu and
Smith.
no,
They're in there.
no,
Sonny Bill.
Tannerimanga.
Tannerimanga, Nonu
Yeah.
and Tannerimanga,
No, it
Hurricanes.
was, yeah, well, the Canes, but yeah, not really for.
Well, and New Zealand, they were great.
Bunsen
They were
Little.
great.
Carling and Guscott.
Well,
Oh.
they never touched the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, come
very
on.
rarely.
They had some good moments.
Of course they did. I would, if I was picking out of those three that you've listed.
Those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come along, 007. We've literally
Yeah.
got 30 seconds of sunlight left.
No, look. I think,
Well, you wouldn't
I
have-
think what Drico and Darcy did.
Greenwood wouldn't have a job if you hadn't won it. Tins, you wouldn't be a part of the Royal Family if you hadn't won it. Gordon Darcy, no one's ever heard of. Brian O'Driscoll,
Darcy's one of
I'm
the great-
joking. He was fantastic. Brian O'Driscoll is the best person player I've ever seen in my life, ever.
Did that even make? Was that
Best
English?
person in life, yeah. And
put
and
subtitles
Mar
on
Nonu,
Hask at this point.
Nonu's still
Ron Nonu.
playing. Ron Nonu,
Who's Ron Nonu?
He's still playing.
I know,
for San
but-
Diego.
yeah, I wouldn't-
Now, do you know how old he is? He's now
83.
45.
Well,
He's like Mono and Rad
45.
Smith.
Yeah, Simone, he's
Not in his
85 years old.
Right.
He
No,
lives off.
You're just saying names, James.
Right, so if, at this list of 3 that you've given me, as good as Darcy and Dricko are, considering how many games they played together, but how many Marnonu and Conrad Smith must have won compared to how many they lost,
Yeah.
and they won 2 World Cups,
Yeah,
I would have to say they are the greatest.
that is.
And they're
very
both
gracious
better
of
lads,
you.
so I'll go with them, yeah, Nono and Conrad Smith.
I think it's hard to argue with that.
Well,
I mean,
if-
Sonny
if-
Bill
if-
gets
if-
an asterisk because he was heavily involved in.
Yeah, if Darcy and Dricko had won one, that would push them in.
But
their
Mike
favour.
Mike Greenwood and Will
I
and
agree,
Will
Will
Tyndall
Tyndall.
were unbelievable.
Yeah.
They
We
were
only
really
played-
good.
We only played like 35 games. These guys almost played over 100 each
Yeah.
together with each other.
Don't play humble with us.
Longevity.
Yeah.
Have we left out anyone else? I do like Bunsen Little.
No, the original centre partnership was Horan and Little. The greatest, you know. The one that I remember the day.
Dialende and Lucanio Am.
Well,
They're
They
not
may
far.
cement themselves, though, they've still got time.
give them a bit more time, and they would be definitely up there. But I think, you know, obviously, I think Lucano Am has become the rock. There's still question mark who will play with him because they try other players. But you know, inconsistency. If you can get to
Am's unbelievable.
100 games as a partnership,
That's
ludicrous.
okay.
Yes, that's a good point.
We're all happy with this. Ron Nonu and Rad Smith
Yeah.
are our greatest centre pairing. Let
Will
us know
Tyndall and Mike Greenwood, they were great.
who you would pick by heading to our polls on social this Thursday, powered by Haycar, who've had a lot more value out of this week's show than most. Many because even trying to wrap it up since about 40 minutes ago.
Haycar.
Haycar make buying a car easier with their large range of quality-checked used cars with a single app, similar to the centre partnership of Smith and Nonu, being front and centre in helping New Zealand to 2 World Cups. Haycar in front and centre in bringing you the best used quality cars, as all Haycar vehicles are under 8 years old and have less than 100,000 miles on the clock, and they come with a warranty and a 10-day money-back guarantee, all at your fingertips. If you want to know more, please download the Haycar app to find your perfect car, just like our perfect centre partnership.
And also check out our World Cup after party in Guildford, London, Swansea, Cardiff, Edinburgh, Northampton, Reading, Oxford, Leicester, Birmingham, Southend, Exeter, someone said Exeter twice, Newcastle, Nottingham, Manchester and Bath, with tickets available at Ticketmaster. Just search Good, Bad and Rugby. You can find them there. It was incredible last time. We go to 17 venues. It's a post-World Cup party. All the stories, all the details, all the goss from the Palace and from a Delta Mail. What more could you want?
Delta Force.
It's Delta Force.
Delta Force.
And also,
Delta Norse.
and also, never forget the good, the Scaz, and the rugby, sponsored by Vodafone. Scaz had invited the gang up to her new home of Franklin Gardens as Loughborough take on Gloucester Hartpury for the Prem 15s. Mo's Cherries and Whites versus Scaz's Lightning. It's on the pod this week. Please check it out on Thursday.
Little bit of spice. We got there in the end.
We did. The Good, the Bad and Rugby.
Hang on.
Sorry.
One final note.
Yeah.
How much better is it when we drink?
Yeah, way better, way funnier. I mean, the editors have got a lot of things, but they like to chop anything because they're socialists, so they get a little bit upturned.
Anyway,
sort of humour.
Breaking news. James
Anyway,
Haskell
I'm gonna
has left the Me Hotel via the top deck.
I'm going to do the closer.
He left
Okay,
by,
please do.
yeah. Are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Good, the Bad, the Rugby is produced by Shira, who isn't even here. So I'm not entirely sure she is producing this week. Ollie, the great
Well
man.
done, Ollie.
Well
Good
done,
luck
Ollie.
with the edit, Ollie.
And is produced by Folding Pocket.
Yeah.